you a grappling athlete constantly battling against poor posture, nagging shoulder pain, and frequent injuries? Even top athletes like Gordon Ryan face these issues.
Everything we do is concave shoulders, like with the shoulders coming forward. I can't do anything overhead. I can't wash the back of my neck because my shoulders are I'm always inverting doing this. It's anything like this I can do, but I can't bridge, trying to scrub my back of my head. Can't get my shoulders back there. So it's just all a mess. And I'm only 27, so once I'm 40, I'm gonna be fucked.
Most grapplers spend 95% of their time in forward and rounded back and shoulder positions. The entire martial art has been designed to defend from your back in this position. These changes in posture can seriously limit shoulder mobility and increase injury risk if not addressed. But there are solutions, which is exactly what I'll be sharing with you today. I'm Jack Crucial, an injury rehab consultant with experience from amateurs to pros in combat sports. In this video, I'm going to share a 4-step strategy to combat typical jiu-jitsu posture with effective exercise examples you can complete outside of your jiu-jitsu training. We'll dive into routines that can help any grappling athlete maintain shoulder health and minimize those all too common injuries. If you're interested in martial arts and training and want to stay injury-free, consider subscribing for more valuable insights. To start, I'm going to teach you my go-to exercises for developing mid-back or thoracic extension. The reason this is beneficial is it's the complete opposite movement to the rounded concave jiu-jitsu posture you are in 95% of the time. Not only this, mid-back extension is crucial for overhead mobility. In this demonstration, you can see how restricted my overhead shoulder mobility is simply from rounding my back. Firstly, dumbbell bench pullovers. Now, a common mistake people make in execution is arching their low back to get their arms further overhead. This completely defeats the purpose of the exercise. A good fix and coaching cue for this is to tuck your pelvis as much as you can and keep your body horizontal through the movement. Using a bench this way provides a sturdy surface to really stretch and open up the front of your body. Once again, avoid arching your low back. We want quality reps, not focusing on trying to reach overhead as far as possible. This will come with practice. You can use anywhere from 8 to 20 repetitions for this heavier variation. Shoulder retraction. Due to the concave position of the shoulders, your mid-back muscles are constantly at length. These are primarily responsible for protracting and retracting the shoulder blades. As a result, it's common for grapplers to have an inability to shorten these muscles efficiently. So not only are we going to do this, but we are going to develop general pulling strength and performance with the exercises I'm now going to teach you. Firstly, face pulls. It's been a very popular exercise for the last decade for shoulder pain and injury relief. The way I like to perform these are with a resistance band, as this allows me to widen my grip, which gives me space to really squeeze my shoulder blades together and retract. 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 20 repetitions. A common mistake for this variation is shrugging the shoulders up, which will take some of the tension away from your mid-back. Secondly, a prone row. This approach allows you to really focus on shortening the muscles of your mid-back and back of the shoulders. We still want some slight rounding of the back at the end of the repetition, but the main focus is getting those shoulder blades coming together. And finally, the pendlate row. This exercise is a staple I use for all grappling athletes. The barbell allows you to load very heavy over time and develop a strong, thick back through a full range of motion. This is more of a compound exercise, so this lift can be completed anywhere from 3 to 20 repetitions, closer to 3 for strength changes, and closer to 20 for strength endurance. Overhead mobility. Jiu-jitsu rarely has you spending any time with your arms overhead.
I can't do anything overhead. I can't wash the back of my neck.
As a result, it's a good idea to add this into your strength and conditioning you are doing outside of jiu-jitsu training. To do this, let's start with hanging variations. Not only will this improve your shoulder mobility, but grip strength, rotator cuff strength, and overall upper body endurance. The easiest way to start is by doing a floor hang with a barbell. I typically prescribe this exercise from 30 seconds to 3 minutes straight holds. If you need an easier variation, keep your knees bent, and if you need it to be harder, straighten out your legs. You can then migrate to standing variations with feet support, with band support, and then finally suspended in the air. Not only can you utilize hangs, but you can also complete pull-up variations. This will not only develop your grip strength, but also the lats and mid-back, which is essential for healthy shoulders. The overhand grip requires more shoulder mobility, so you can progress from chin-ups to pull-ups as your shoulder mobility improves. It's incredibly important to fully stretch at the bottom of the repetition to work the muscles through its full length, and also maximize overhead mobility gains too. Shoulder external rotation. As a grappling athlete, a strong rotator cuff is an absolute must. One of the objectives of jiu-jitsu is to literally dislocate your opponent's shoulder by putting it into vulnerable positions. For this reason, we aren't just going to build strong shoulder external rotation to help you get out of the rounded shoulder jiu-jitsu posture, but also build a robust shoulder that can handle the demands of getting your shoulders cranked every rolling session. To do this, we'll start with a dumbbell external rotation on a box or bench. The reason I like this exercise is because it offers so much stability from placing your entire upper arm on a surface. You'll sit at 90 degrees to a bench or box and allow your arm to lower as far as comfortable without the shoulder rolling forward. You then rotate up into a vertical forearm position, training the rotator cuff through a huge range of motion. This can be done heavier in the 8 to 15 repetition range. Once again, no shoulder rolling forwards. The second variation is the same concept in side lying. You want the back of your shoulder supported on the bench, but the rest of your arm suspended as shown here. Start with very light weight if this is your first time. You'll be working into extreme end ranges, which are vulnerable shoulder positions. Leave your ego at the door for these ones. I'd advise completing 2 to 3 sets of 15 to 30 repetitions of an exercise like this, and then as you get good at this movement, you can dial it down into the 8 to 15 repetition range. As a bonus in this video, which will not only train a vulnerable armbar position, but also open up the chest muscles, which get shortened for hours on end in a grappling session, we are going to use the extreme isometric push-up to do this. You can use stacked plates, but I prefer using 2 benches, and the aim is to complete a push-up into the deepest range and stretch you possibly can safely. You can either hold the bottom position for 30 seconds to 3 minutes, or you can complete this as repetitions where you hold the bottom for 3 to 5 seconds instead. If you look at the bottom position, it's the complete opposite to the rounded shoulder posture we see in Jiu-Jitsu. As we summarize this video, let's take a moment to reflect on what we covered today. We started with the goal of countering the rounded concave posture so prevalent in Jiu-Jitsu, and we've explored a variety of exercises to enhance mid-back extension, shoulder retraction, overhead mobility, and shoulder external rotation. These are not just exercises, they are tools to transform your grappling performance and overall physical health. We began with the dumbbell bench pullovers, focusing on mid-back extension to reverse the effects of your Jiu-Jitsu posture. Remember, quality of movement trumps quantity. Then we dived into shoulder retraction, utilizing face pulls and a prone row and the pendlay row to strengthen those mid-back muscles that are so crucial for effective grappling. Our journey took us further into the realm of overhead mobility, emphasizing the importance of this often neglected aspect in BJJ training. Through various hanging and pull-up variations, we aim to enhance not only mobility, but also grip and rotator cuff strength. And finally, we address the critical aspects of shoulder external rotation. The exercises we covered are designed to not only improve your posture, but also fortify your shoulders against the rigorous demands of grappling. Incorporating these exercises into your routine is about more than just physical strength, it's about creating a balanced body that can withstand the rigors of Jiu-Jitsu whilst reducing the risk of injury. It's about enhancing your performance on the mat by ensuring that every part of your body is aligned, strong, and flexible. If you're suffering with a shoulder injury that is keeping you off the mats, I have a shoulder injury program which has everything you need to get you back to your best. And grab it by clicking the link in the description. If you want to work with me one-on-one, there is also a link in the description for that too. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing for the best injury rehab advice for athletes on YouTube. Cheers.